Last night, the Senate released its spending bill that is supposed to incorporate the proposal President Trump outlined in his speech on January 19th and serve as the compromise package enabling the federal government to reopen. Unfortunately, and yet unsurprisingly, the bill fails to deliver upon Trump's promise and is not even a compromise. Even worse, it includes hardline restrictionist measures that make it absolutely unacceptable. On Saturday, the president said he would extend protections for DACA recipients for 3 years and called for an introduction of the Bridge Act. But this bill is not the Bridge Act. This Senate bill only protects people who currently have DACA and excludes those whose protection expired and haven't been able to renew DACA. It also includes additional restrictions that will exclude people who currently have DACA. The president also promised to extend TPS for people previously granted that protection. Instead, only people from 4 countries will have TPS extended. All African nations and several other nations are excluded from that extension. Even more troubling, the bill would rewrite the law to functionally end TPS as a program in the way we know it by requiring that any future TPS applicant be lawfully present in the United States. Going forward, TPS would exclude people who are undocumented, and they comprise a huge proportion of TPS recipients. The president claimed to be concerned about children and families seeking asylum from Central America, but this bill will bring to an end asylum for all minors from Honduras, El Salvador, and Guatemala who are arriving at the U.S. border. This historic change in asylum law would categorically block tens of thousands of children from ever applying for asylum. The only path the bill provides for these Central American children is a sham program limited to 15,000 children each year, which is a fraction of those in need. And it requires that they apply for relief outside of the United States at designated centers and requires that they have a parent or guardian already in the U.S. That program won't even be operational for about 240 days, during which time these children will have absolutely no way to seek asylum. The bill also makes important changes to asylum law that will make it harder for asylum seekers to win relief. For example, it adds to the definition of a frivolous asylum claim an applicant who seeks asylum who files the application while intending to seek employment. Just about everyone seeking asylum intends to work here, and asylum law has never excluded such individuals. The bill adds money to hire more immigration judges, but it doesn't include the necessary measures to prevent the administration's interference with the immigration court that have delayed court proceedings and added to the 800,000 case backlog. For these reasons, this bill is a non-starter, and AILA will be urging Congress to reject the bill when it comes up for a vote later this week. We are calling upon AILA members to contact their members of Congress as soon as possible and urge a no vote.